Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and in this video I'm going to walk through with you how to set up a shared countdown timer that is being produced in Propresenter for in-house, but it can also be shared through your live stream, whether it's on OBS or vMix, as a countdown timer for your watchers. So let's go. Folks, AJ the CEO here. If this is your first time stopping by the channel, thanks for stopping by. And on this channel, we focus on tips, training, strategies, reviews, and builds to help modernize your media ministry. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you like what we're doing here, consider becoming a patron or a YouTube member by clicking one of the links down below. So I've actually done this at a couple of churches. I tried to dabble with this at my church, and I didn't really move forward with it until this morning. I actually set this up at Community Independent. I just set it up at Spring Creek Baptist Church, and I set it up at mine. So have enough proof to know that it's working well. So I just want to walk through with you the simple steps on how to do this. Now, prerequisites. If you're using OBS, the NDI OBS plugin needs to be installed with its runtime and all of the NDI tools that you need. That will be linked down below. Thankfully, vMix as well as Propresenter have this built in, so this is fine. Now, before you ask, can this be done with other programs? I would believe so. Presenter by Worship Extreme, Proclaim, all of them. Technically, they could do it. If y'all want me to go through with that and give an example of how that will work, let me know down below in the comments. If not, just take some of the stuff that we got and then implement it. So let's go ahead and cut over to our computer here. And I have Propresenter opened up. All right, so we're inside of here, and Propresenter gives you an option to make multiple screens, whether you have a physical screen or as in another output on your graphics card, or a USB to HDMI adapter, whatever, or even like a Decklink mini monitor. But you can make additional monitors. So if we go to Propresenter, Preferences, and then Screens, we can come here to Open Screen Configuration, and we have our audience and we have our stage. We can make multiple that we have here, virtual or physical. So I'm going to make a stage display. We're going to go ahead and hit plus and see these are my physical monitors, but we can make a new NDI monitor. And I'm going to do this at 720p because, again, it's just going to be text. It doesn't need to be super high res. And we're just going to give it a name, and we'll say live stream, shared countdown. We'll call it that. All right. So boom, that's done. Now, what we're going to do is come up here to More and then Stage Editor, and we're going to design our the layout of our stage display. So we're going to come over here to Plus, and they have different ones. I'm going to come all the way down here, time of date clock, but I'm going to change this. All right. So we got this here. We're going to come back to this. Let's go to timers. I haven't updated mine, so my timers is here. You may have timers over here to the lower right, but I'm gonna, actually we already have one here. It's called Livestream Start. If you wanted to make a new countdown, you can just say, let's say we do a 15-minute, but I like going to a specific time. That's just for me. So if you need to make one, come in here, hit the plus, give it a name, countdown, and you have your options. Are you counting, is a countdown timer? Are you counting down to a specific time, or you want to do a lapse time? A lapse time would be like if you're preaching and you want to have a 30-minute clock, it'll tell you that you've done whatever event for this amount of time. So I'm going to use countdown to a time based off of what this is for. This is for everybody in the sanctuary to know when the live stream is going to start, but this number is also going to be for everybody who's watching on the live stream to know when you're going to start. So that's how you would make it, but I already have one up here. So I'm going to ignore this one here. All right. So now that we have our timer, we're going to come back to our stage editor. This is the template that we set up. I'm going to click on my time here, go to text, and we want to change what our source is. Our source is a timer and our live stream start. And boom, there we go. Now inside of here, we're now going to dictate what we do or what we do not want to see. I don't need hours. I don't need tenths of a second. So we just got minutes and seconds. That's going to be the countdown. All right. Now, there are a bunch of other things that you might want to do for inside the sanctuary, inside of what we're doing. But let's just do something real easy. Let's change our text. I think that's cool, but that might be a bit much for everybody. Let me put it in a nice, very legible font that everybody can read easily. All right, so we'll go with that. So that's inside the house. Now, we can add color triggers to the time. So we're counting down to 10 minutes. Say you want to give everybody, this is at 15 minutes, this is what you got, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 90 seconds, 30 seconds, stuff like that. So let's make a countdown here. Ours is going to say, I don't know, I'll change this time to 1 hour. So it will always be in white text for that. All right. We're going to do another one mainly here to say this is within our 15 minutes countdown. And we want to start, slowly changing the color so people are aware of stuff is getting ready to happen. So I'll do this lime green here. Then let's do another one and say this is going to be a 5-minute countdown. We'll change that to, I don't know, this type of tomato. And then we'll do another one here at, I'll say 1 minute and just count it down to pure red. So once it gets within that time, the colors will change inside of here. All right. So that's it. Now, because this is a NDI monitor, let's go ahead and open up our studio monitor, which comes with the NDI tools I was saying that originally needs to be installed. So if we come up here, let me go back here and start that actual timer here. Start. So we're counting down to 10 a.m. for tomorrow. Let's go back to our studio monitor. And let's see. All right, there's shared countdown. And there we go. There's our countdown. Really small, but there it is. And I don't know why it's showing in that way. Let's go here and verify this again. Let's go over here to screens. Oh, because I picked the wrong one. So if we come to screen, stage, screen 2, we're not using the template we just made. So that's what this one is. So now it's in the right format. My apologies. Go to screens and then you pick the layout for the given screen that you have selected. All right, so there we go. There's our countdown. That's all that's being sent over NDI right now. All right, so let's go ahead now and let's open up OBS. And I do get the logo here because this is the demo version that I have. I am not using the full version. Let's go over to our next screen here. And we're in OBS. Now make sure this won't work unless you have the NDI plugin enabled. All right, so we're going to come in here and say, let me bring up my OBS Complete bundle, and we'll work with that. All right, so during our starting soon, we would do something like this, but this would mean we're removing that countdown completely, and we would need to make something completely different. All right, so let's come up here. We're going to add a plus, and we're going to have our NDI source, and we're going to say shared countdown. Call it whatever you want. All right, we're going to select our source, which is right there. And there we go. And of course, we're going to get the Propresenter logo in here. Now, we put colors on this. So let me actually add a countdown let's change this so we can actually simulate what we're going to do. And let's just use this one for right now, because my current one is already has a countdown put into it. So this could be whatever that you have in the background, all right? And I don't have mine in loop, so it keeps going on. All right, so there's our background or whatever. You can have drone footage or whatever, but we don't want this black here. Now, remember, we also, once we get to certain times, the text color is going to change. We want that for in-house, but we do not want that for our live stream. So I'm going to come up here and let's go to our filters after we selected our source. And first, let's color key and get rid of the black. Custom color, select black, which will make it transparent. And we're also going to add a color correction. And we're going to say that we're going to add, hold on, is it color correction? Yes, it is. Yeah, we're going to add a color correction in here. See, we can change the color to anything we want, but we want this to stay white. So when it starts changing colors, this text is always going to stay white. So we can resize this all that you want. We can put text over top of it. Something simple. Live stream will start in, I don't know, something like that. Nothing super fancy. You can word it any way that you want to. Now, by having something like this, you have a shared countdown with everybody inside the house, that's inside the sanctuary, and you also have it that it's in sync with what everybody in your live stream is seeing. And again, you wouldn't see this. I don't have the register version. Very, very, very simple. So now when you stop and start whatever, especially since we're counting down to a given time, we know exactly, oh, when this says 15 minutes inside the house, that's also what's going to be displayed on the live stream. So you can have whatever type of countdown that you want. All right, now let's cut over and look at it, what it looks like over in vMix, which honestly is exactly the same thing. All right, so we're in vMix, and honestly, the exact same thing. I am using the free version, but we're just going to come in here and say, add an input. We're going to go to our NDI right there. It's going to search for what's available. There's our countdown. We select it. And there we go. So I don't have a camera set up to this, so you're going to have an infinite loop here in a second. All right, so we got our webcam set up now. So let's go ahead and cut over here. And what we would do is now do this as an overlay. And we're going to come in here in our settings here, and we're going to do a color key, just like we did before. We're going to pick black on there. Let's add a little so we can clean it up just a little bit around the edges. All right, there we go. All right, and then we can position it and resize it anywhere we want to here. So the same way we could add text, we can do all this other stuff in top of here. And, you know, I think I would have more flexibility in the full version, but this is the one that I have on this system. but really straightforward to where you can just use that timer and now have it in sync with in-house as well as your live stream. Like I said, if you want me to go in more detail on how to do this in any other program, please let me know down in the comments below, and hopefully this will help you with syncing up your live stream when your audience is knowing when your stream is going to start, as well as keeping everybody in time who's actually there in the building wanting to know when you're going live. So hope that helps. If you like this type of content, I appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. I want to thank the patrons and YouTube members for making this video possible. Their names on the screen now, and you too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. We'll see you on the next video. Later.